Hey there, it's Brenda Piekarski and I'm here at Oxbow Park. We're going to be doing a little hiking today down what they call the Maple Trail, so I'm pretty excited about that because it is a beautiful fall day. It's supposed to be about 70 degrees and autumn just happens to be my absolute favorite season. So I got here a little bit early. Let's go see if the production crew is here.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
Brenda?
Yeah.
You asked me what an oxbow is?
Yes.
An oxbow is where the river makes a big loop, and if you notice as you drove in, this river was almost right by the road. And it made a big curve right around here, and it curves down that way, and it comes right back to the road, almost connecting. And it's called an oxbow because the early settlers had oxen on their farms for hauling wagon loads and stuff. And the oxen had the harness was actually made out of wood, and it fit over the oxen's neck and shoulders, and so they called it an oxbow. And this section right here, they said, resembled an oxbow harness, an oxen.
Well, I think we can wrap and go home now. I think
all right, let's go. We got it all.
That's everything right there.
I know what that bird is. It's that red-headed woodpecker. Oh, that's cool. I love decaying things. See, now this is interesting to me. How nature takes over and turns it into dust slowly. Yeah, this is nice. See how the light is filtering down through the forest here?
Mm-hmm.
And what I like is how you can see the light passing through some of these leaves and just lights them up like glass. Do you know there's two kinds of ways of viewing things? You know, a lot of people don't realize that. There's reflected light, and that's the way we see most things, like if you're looking at a picture hanging on the wall, or there's transmitted light where we can see the light passing through it.
See how loud the leaves are now? We're making too much noise with the leaves.
We all should be walking toe to heel right now.
Yeah, let's
I'm gonna try it. Ready? Okay, so the trick is to walk as quietly as possible right now, which Dave tells us you need to walk toe to heel. So.
I'm convinced you guys
Which is much slower.
I'm convinced you guys will do anything I say.
You are wrong. We would not do it.
Exactly.
Some of these trees have lost most of their leaves already.
So is your blacksmith shop is last right in the middle of town?
Dead center of town, yes. Yeah, it's a wonderful little town because there's really not much there.
Okay.
And it's off the beaten trail and
Very nice and quiet.
it's very quiet.
Okay.
Kasota is the Native American term for a place where no trees grow, and for some reason there was no trees there. Well, the reason is because the stone is, the limestone is right up close to the ground. The color is really what I'm looking at in today. And look at all the beautiful tones. And
Right.
you know, when you see.
Oh, what was that up there? Is that a dog or was that a deer? Wait, step back. It was right on the ridge line. I think we missed it. We missed it.
You saw some wildlife.
I saw some wildlife. I saw a shadow of wildlife. It could have been a wolf. It actually kind of looked like a wolf. I'm thinking it maybe was a dog. Unfortunately, most people encounter white-tailed deer along the highway. But if we're quiet enough today, we might get to see one in its natural habitat. Clarissa Schroten, naturalist at the Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo, gives us a few pointers on their biology.
Hi, I'm Clarissa Schroten, the naturalist at Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo. We are here today talking about white-tailed deer. White-tailed deer are one of the animals that you see in Minnesota that is widely dispersed across the entire state of Minnesota. The characteristic that defines a white-tailed deer, of course, would be that white tail that they have. When they're in fear or when they're unsure, they raise up their tail, and that is a white flag underneath, and that is actually a signal to the rest of the white-tailed deer of either danger or beware, I might run quick. White-tailed deer have a brown fur coat and they're hoofed animals. The white-tailed deer also have very large cupped ears. Those ears actually work kind of like a satellite dish on the top of their head. They're able to independently turn each ear in different directions. The white-tailed deer is an herbivore, meaning that they eat all kinds of grasses and browse and green leaves and plants. And of course they live here in the wintertime, so they revert then to eating mostly just sticks, and we call that browse. In the fall, they go into this season called the rut season. This is a big time for their behaviors to change, especially when it comes to the males. The males we call bucks, and the females we call does. Fawns will be born, and they're tiny, born all brown with white spots on them. Those white spots and that brown background help to blend when the mom goes and stashes them, say, in a wooded area with leaves, and a fawn is born without any scent. So mom knows that when she stashes her fawn there, she can leave that fawn alone, walk away, and she'll come back and nurse with the fawn, but that fawn spends a lot of its day all by itself. So if you ever see one of these in your yards, we always say, don't touch it, because you put your human scent on that fawn and then it can be found by other predators, and that doe may not come back to her fawn. This is Clarissa Schroten at Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo. I encourage everyone to get outside and see our great Minnesota animals.
So do you typically work with like more neutral colors, earth tone colors?
Usually my customer tells me what they like,
Okay,
or the situation at hand.
okay.
You kind of have to. There's a lot of choices, but then in the end, they all get narrowed down.
Yeah.
So it depends on what's being called for.
But do you...
Ooh, look at that.
Oh.
That's cool.
Is that like a mushroom?
Fungus among us.
Humongous fungus.
Yes.
Wow, it's like perfectly camouflaged in the leaves there too.
You know what's amazing is all these trees can talk to each other through the root system. Everything's interconnected.
Yes, I was listening to a podcast about that. It is absolutely amazing.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
They all care for each other. Like the big trees
They
will
do,
help
they
the little
send-
trees.
Send nutrients to each other.
Yeah, isn't that
through the fungus.
exciting?
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's pretty mind-blowing, really.
Oh, see now when you see a tree that's uprooted like that, that's a spot where the fairies like to live. Up in the North Woods, they have what they call mamagwessis. Up in the northern woods of Minnesota, and there's these little creatures that like to pull pranks on you. And the little creatures of the woods.
Wood nymph.
Yes, there's a variety of them.
So Mark, have you seen anything that inspires you out here today?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good.
And not only what you're seeing, but what you're smelling.
You know, that's funny that you say that because I just had that thought about 15 minutes ago. One of my favorite things is the smell out here. It's just so fresh and crisp.
It seems like you can breathe deeper.
Yes, absolutely.
And the colors are fantastic. And now the leaves are kind of dying back and we can see more. Your eyes stretch out a little bit and you can see through the woods a little bit more. There's not all the leaves blocking your view.
Yeah, that's true. So what calls to you more, the shapes you're seeing or the colors you're seeing?
Well, it's the shapes for me.
Okay.
The way there's so many trees, the way that they're all like making this wonderful texture.
Yeah.
This is really
there's so much depth too because
spot.
you can yeah, it is. It's nice and open and you can see back.
There's so many trees and you can see each one of them because they don't seem to have any lower branches.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of it's like they're sentinels. Like they're kind of like they're guards in the woods, kind of standing watch. It's actually really beautiful.
Ooh, that's kind of cool. Look at that.
This is the sinkhole.
Oh yeah, that is really cool.
I want to look for a turtle in there.
I'm going to dive in.
Yeah. I had a sinkhole happen in my front yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. It started and didn't think too much
What
of
did
it.
they do with it? Can you film
No, it was
them?
me. I went to the city and talked to him about it. And he said, "Good luck."
Oh, really? Wow.
It wasn't as big as this.
Beware of sinkholes. Let's check it out. There it is. Just a big hole full of water and leaves and sticks and logs. It is pretty fun though. Who's gonna take a running jump into the puddle?
Well, I am.
Matt.
I guess I am.
I would like to perform the javelin toss into the sinkhole. This is very Olympic professional. Woo!
I don't know. I think you need a bigger log.
I think I need a big rock. Actually, I feel the urge to throw a giant rock into the sinkhole, and I don't see a giant rock. This is like what every little kid's dream is, to just throw rocks into the water, right? That's what my toddler did for hours. He would just throw rocks and sticks into the water.
But you know what Charlie Brown said, right? It took millions of years for that rock to get up on land, and you've thrown it back.
Well, it's just got to do it again now. What's another million years to a rock? Anyway, what else is it gonna do? Exactly. This is quite the valley. We're descending quite a ways here.
Well, we're not.
Does it go all the way down to the river right here?
No.
No.
It's just like I think this is the one. As you get down into the valley, there's a spring that comes through.
Okay. Can we drink
little
out of it?
bridge across. You can.
Hey, we found the spring.
Nice. So you're gonna drink from it?
I am not gonna drink from it.
It looks kind of clear.
Well,
No.
I think if we go up here,
That's where I have a tendency to
you
drink
can sort
from.
of see that it
Where
looks
it
pretty
comes
dry
out
up
of
here,
the
so
earth.
it must start right up in here.
Boy, this path has got moss on it. This is amazing. It must not be well traveled. Basswood, huh?
That's probably a bass.
Hey guys, come sit with me and have some lunch. We can talk about the trees.
That's what our aspen could be, an aspen.
Yeah, I just
Oh, I
feel-
like these little snack things.
I think it's just kind of neat how everything is so similar.
We have the Tuscan flare, Italian dry salami, wine-infused salami. I'll take that one.
Oh.
And how do you say this?
Genoa.
Genoa salami.
I think the Tuscan.
Tuscan flair.
I'll take the Genoa.
Genoa. You get the Italian dry. I hope that's all right.
I hope so too.
Anybody want a granola bar?
Sure, I'll take one.
Oats and honey or
I'll have
peanut
one.
butter?
Oats and honey.
Can I interest you in a peanut butter?
Sure.
Now my wife would say, I thought you would take peanut butter. Because my lunch is always peanut butter and jelly.
I had peanut butter and jelly for breakfast this morning.
Oh, wow.
So there we go.
So yeah, I heard about this new thing where you take the peanut butter and you spread it out onto a piece of wax paper and then you put it in the freezer. And then you're able to just take it out of the freezer and just put it right on the bread. Boom, you're gone. Huh? No spreading the peanut butter?
Oh,
Think of the time you'd save.
funny.
Huh?
But that is frozen peanut butter.
Think how efficient that is, yeah. Wow.
Things that people come up with, huh?
It's so peaceful. There's like barely a breeze right now. It's like the perfect temperature.
Nice and quiet.
Very quiet.
And we only saw 2 other hikers, right?
Yeah. How big is this place? I mean, how many acres do you know?
This is 670 acres. It started out when they just bought the farm, which was like 420 acres or something like that. And then they bought another 125. And then fairly recently, they just bought 40 more acres, I think, off to the north.
Do you live around here?
I live in Rochester. Actually, I sort of hide out. I got a little hut over there too. No.
Made of leaves. What kind of trees are these?
Well,
these
there's
big
a
tall
variety.
These are maple.
Obviously, it's a maple trail.
There are some basswood trees in here.
And there's some oaks, a lot of
and
oaks.
Some oaks and probably some butternut, but most of
Poplar.
these are maple.
I have the shell of a 150-year-old sea turtle. It's fantastic.
Wow. Where'd you get that?
Somebody came over and gave it to me. Somebody showed up at my shop and said, "Hey, I heard you like turtles, and look what I have for you."
Mark Hall has traveled around the world to fine-tune his skills in glass artistry. I can just about imagine how these fall colors might inspire his next creation.
The destination is on your right.
I blow glass differently than everybody else. I don't have a crucible furnace of molten glass that I can just go get when I want. Rather, I have to have things prepared ahead of time, heated up in the kiln. So I decided to make cookies. I have these rings made out of stainless steel. I put a liner of fiber paper in here so the glass won't stick to it, and I load up, this is another material I use a lot of. It's a little pillow. I like to use these a lot. They're studio nuggets, and it serves as a real nice volume maker. You want some color in there. You got to put some color inside your cookie. So you can dump powder in there, you can shove these things in there, you can take this bits in there. Oh, this is cool. So now you can see, if you melt it all together so that it fuses flat at the top, you get these wonderful cookies like a hockey puck. Now, there's bound to be some schmuck on the bottom of this from sitting on the shelf. Look at it, yuck. So now we got that cleaned off. And if you understand what happens when the glass is going to blow a bubble into these, you can start to place things so that you get what you want. You can start to get you know, the ground at the bottom and the trees at the top, and so you get a little bit of a hint of a way to go. And that's what we're trying to do, is bring that through onto the glass, so that when you look at it, you might get the idea that there is a forest even. You know, if I can accomplish that, I'll be happy. So I stuck with the colors. I remember mostly ambers, yellows, and oranges. Now I'm going to put the neck in it so I can get it off the pipe. And I'm going to swing it. It's always nice if you can let gravity shape it for you. In the glass blowing world, you're not even supposed to talk about a piece until it's out of the oven. Now I'm going to transfer it onto this punty rod. This is a solid rod. I'm going to take it off the blowpipe and put it on there so that you can open it up. This is fulfilling my dream of blowing glass, because, you know, they say that you're not going to get to know the heart of glass unless you work it hot. And so that's true. It's really, if you want to, glass is almost like a person. It has feelings, it has moods, and it has, you know, it has some direction to it, actually. If you listen, it'll, or if you don't listen, you'll catch on. Hopefully that'll round out any sharp edges. It's about just having that time and pleasure and to be able to have this relationship with the glass. Because when you're blowing glass, I think it's the closest thing to magic that's real. I'm Mark Hall, a glass craftsman. We got ourselves a bowl. That was fun.
Follow the yellow brick road, yellow leaf road.
Yellow leaf road, yeah, exactly. Fall in line, folks, fall in line. Look at, there's a bench. There's a random bench here. I think, should we go sit down? Sure. Let's go enjoy the bench. Tell me what you see right now that is pleasing.
Well, I really am impressed by all of the trees and how they're creating a texture of not quite straight up and down, is it?
No, but I do love the contrast.
How interesting it is.
The contrast of all the dark stumps with all the golden canopy.
And then you see the sunlight shining in the back and the blue sky.
And you know, the other thing I like is kind of like this soft layer of green carpet. You know, you have like the dried leaves, but then above that you still have all this like low vegetation.
With some of those decaying trunks.
Right.
And all
the fallen logs and the snap trees. Where are we at in the trail right now?
We're getting pretty close to the final leg.
I hear the woodpecker over there.
Oh, I hear him.
You guys see him?
I thought I did.
Boy, we haven't seen any squirrels or anything.
I've seen a few.
I can hear. Have you?
Yep.
Squirrels?
Yep.
Up there someplace.
Somewhere out there.
That looks something like what a affiliated woodpecker would make.
Oh, here we go. Here's a fork in the road.
Oh, there's the map.
Is this one you were talking about?
How does it know where we are? The meadow trail is a nice trail too. It sort of goes through the woods for a ways and then it comes out on top of the hill on a meadow.
Okay.
And you can go across the meadow and then come back down on the third bridge.
Third bridge.
Hey, there we all are. All right, that's it, folks. We are wrapping up our hike today. It has been an absolutely perfect fall day. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Let's Go Minnesota.
Great trip.
Hi, camera crew.
Hello, how are you?
Look at these guys doing their jobs. Good job, guys. This is Mark. Hi, Mark. Wave at the camera. Hi. Ooh, that's actually a really pretty shot there.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a paved trail, obviously. So.
Well, then I'm out.
Let's just kind of take that from the top. Oh, that's
And try to be natural again?
Yeah, be natural again.
I feel like I want to find a log and do a yoga whoa, and not sprain an ankle. What'd you say? We're not going to get injured today hiking? Yeah.
Okay.
Ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-do.
Are you going to end every segment by saying that?
Ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-do.
Like you're saying.
Yeah. Ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-do.
Let's go.
Let's go. Ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-do.